Alrighty, welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. I believe we're going live now. Checking out my stuff, going. It's a medium project Monday. Working on right now scale mail tie. We'll finish this up tonight and start working on another scale mail tie. This one has been built with large scales. Next one will be small scales. Just double checking everything, but yeah, we're back here on Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. This is the tie here. I'm kind of calling it my chief stripes, I guess, kind of. It's just a striped tie with large scales. And we're going to be working on the neck piece today. I did take care of the screw up that I had in it. It was about 10 minutes. I just had to pull one line apart, add a couple in it, and then just went ahead and finished it up. I might add another line to the top and bottom. I'm unsure yet. Want to get the top on since it's the first one I've done in large scale. Well, not the first one I've done in large scale, but it's been a while. Make sure I got a good length on it, and then we'll go from there on that one. But hopefully we'll get into working on the need silver. Working on the small scale tie here shortly. Gonna work on I'm gonna make it a Japanese 4-in-2 basically, kinda, I guess, for the neck area. I'm gonna put some stripes in it too, opposite leaning stripes than the stripes on the tie itself. So that's what we're going to work on now. I thought about doing some of it earlier, but I was like, no, I want to save it for the stream. Try not to do Monday night projects outside Monday night. I am a little bit, but trying to keep it into just being for Monday nights. Hopefully it'll go alright and won't have a problem. Alright, so we'll see how it goes. I'm sure I'll probably still work on it a little bit, but I'll try my best not to. But I'm always wanting to work on something, and it's kind of whatever's available easily on the desk. We did talk about on Thursday or Saturday at a special stream. Did some more of the inlay. Actually got quite a good chunk done by the time I did the stream Saturday night. And then worked on it some more Sunday before I put it all up last night. Got a pretty decent chunk going on it. I have it written down somewhere. We're up to the line 44, row 44 on that. So that put us at 4,840 rings so far into the inlay. So we're getting close, near half on it. Closing in on that halfway point. It's just a bit over 10,000 rings in total, so we'll see how it goes. I did mention what it is on Saturday. I still didn't put it into a description yet, but if you watch Saturday's video, it'll tell you, but I will put it in the description this week on Thursday when we do large project night. The name will be in the description of what we're doing. I think it's gotten to a point now that most people, if you're into it, would know who it is. So we'll display that on Thursday. Still debating on what I want to do on Wednesday night stream. Seems like it's always that way. If I'm good tonight and I can put this away, once the stream is done, I'll have a little more time. I can get into it and decide on what I want to do for Wednesday. I keep finding more and more that I want to try. Every time I go searching and looking and stuff, I'm always finding new things I want to do. So, but we're just kind of work on the neck piece of the tie right now, and Probably get into some of the neck part of the actual part that just goes around the rest of the neck. It's just going to be a 2-in-1. Chain around the rest of the way. Put the clasps on. I'm not probably going to do the full thing of that on the stream tonight, just because I do want to get into the small scale. But that's basically that row there. This one needs to be 4 also. Yeah, we connect them with thread. I've been debating on what I wanted to use for my connector colors. I wanted to use them all silver. Did I want to change them up? I still don't really know. I figure I get this part done, lay them together, and then kind of, I'm probably going to leak my silvers over into the reds over into the gold, and gold won't have any extra color connectors. It's kind of the plan as of right now. We'll see how long that plan sticks around. Oh, I do have the side camera going today, don't I? Yeah. Keep forgetting I stream so much and record so much without the second camera going. I keep forgetting that I do have it active tonight. So we can bring out old Duck and Anna. You can get some FaceTime, right? Duck and Anna. Still need to do a name for him. I was actually going to set up a poll over the weekend for names for Duck and Anna, but it looks like Facebook got rid of polls. I can't figure out. Looks like you can, like in groups and stuff, but to your personal page or business page, I can't figure out how to put a poll up anymore. I haven't done any, but I'd seen them before, and I was like, oh, I could use that. Now I can't find that option anywhere. So, gotta figure out some way to give Duck and Anna a name. If you're watching and now or watching later and you got an idea for it, I'm probably going to still give it a few weeks to... I keep trying some names with it and calling him that, but I just haven't found one that I like yet. And we're just building on some Japanese weave here. Shouldn't take too long to actually get the main chunk of this going. You'll have the connector rings will take a little bit longer, but at least the way I do them this way. You can just go ahead and start coming off those and putting on these, but everybody has their own way of doing it. I've done them both ways. Just kind of depends on the mood I'm in the day I start doing it. I always build the Japanese a little differently, try it different ways. Some days I just like to see it come together at a different angle than other days. So we just always play with it. But I guess I should welcome everybody and thank you for stopping in and checking out the stream. Or if you're watching later, thank you. I'm hoping to make some changes up to it a little bit over the next few weeks. I'm still reading up and learning about the program and going to try some different things. I did get a couple more mounts made up so I can try to mount the cameras in a different area. Still got another couple I want to get printed up, but need to sit there and design those too. So like I always say, never enough time in the day. Always working on something, it seems like. If I'm not physically doing stuff, it's mentally doing stuff on the computer for website or designing and whatnot. So I got a little story we'll talk about here once I get a little further into this before we get too far. But on the scale nail ties, I was doing some things last night and found some things, and then yeah, it was kind of a weird day, I would say, a little bit. So other than it's still been rainy, and then we had Saturday, which was nice, cool and sunny. It was just a perfect Saturday almost. And then Sunday came along. It's still cool, but it clouded up most of the day. Didn't rain, at least, I guess, but still just kind of got you back in that blah mode, you know, because it's all, yeah. And then it rained again most of today, so really, again, couldn't do much outside. Just living the inside life. Finally got a few extra things done on the computer, and then when I did, it was bill day, so I need to go through and get all the bills taken care of for everything. I do need to start working on my trademark again. It came up on the 24th, so I was able to go through and start renewing it, so I've got to go do all that paperwork again to trademark the Booga box. So I do have that kind of stuff coming up that I'll have to spend some time doing. That can take a little while to get all that fun stuff done. All the extra little stuff of running a business, it's crazy. One day maybe I'll get big enough where I can hire people to do that for me so I can spend more time creating, right? It'd be nice, but I didn't have to spend so much time doing other stuff. Oh, come on. I forgot to put my second center one in here. There's that one. It'll go in there. This is the bottom. 2, then we go to 3, 4, and 5. So red is the next one. Just kind of going by feel for it. I don't have any kind of pattern or anything. Just kind of doing what I've done before. So when it comes to finishing up these scale ties, anyway, I normally top them with a Japanese weave. When I do regular ringed ties, I'll make a thing out of the normal weave that's used for it and put it around it so it looks like a little knot, which we will get into. I do plan on doing a regular one during our Monday night medium projects. Doing a scale or a ringed tie. Thought about trying something a little different. I need to see my ring count. I know it's probably going to be blue and something. I'm not sure what yet. Could be all solid blue, who knows. I need to check, like I said, what I got available in the ring counts to do it without taking away too much from other stuff. I'm sure I'll be making another order here soon enough, though. That'll be the last one of that, and then a silver that I don't really need to put out till we get all these put together, because then we'll have one silver one here to connect to. So now it's a matter of connecting these guys together. I'll go ahead and just pre-open some of these since they're smaller. I thought about putting them on there, but you gotta remember how many is going into what, so then you can bring through your others. So this time I just went with the stripes and then put the stripes together. Figured that'd be the easiest way to go. Like I said, hopefully this doesn't take too long so we can get into the next scale mail tie. Because we're not very far in now, are we? 14 minutes, so shouldn't take too long. We'll put it on there and attach it, and I'll put on a little bit on the sides and save the rest. I'll probably finish that part up later tonight before I put this up, because otherwise it's just going to be watching me doing a bunch of 2-in-1 to finish it up. I mean, I'll show the finished afterwards though too. Once I get all 3 sizes done, eventually I'll get some medium scales and do a medium scale tie too. Just don't have enough of any one of the colors right now to do one. Don't have a whole lot of medium. Most of the mediums I've been using for earring things, mixing them with large and small and making color out of them and whatnot. So don't have a ton of them. they're somewhat-ish new, being that we had no events this past year. I want to say they're new because they came out over a year ago, but I didn't get a whole lot with, no events going on. It seemed like, you don't really need to buy a bunch of stuff when I can't really get out there to sell it, so, kind of had that little dilemma going on. And knowing we've got events coming up now, I'm trying to get a bunch of new stuff going so I can come back with a vengeance, right? Have, all kinds of cool stuff that wasn't there the last time anybody seen me. So I'm sure I'll still run into a bunch of people that show up at the events that, are regulars that come by the events, check out what we got going on. Probably end up doing, now that I've been working with doing streaming and stuff, I'll probably do some streams from events also, so you might catch those on occasion. What did I do here? I did something. I put it on the wrong side. Must have somehow flipped it around. Yeah, I was on the wrong side. Come on out of there. These two together. I think I dropped it last time, which is why I did that. And talking quietly again. Talking under my breath, so if you can never hear me, just say, hey, we can't hear you, and I'll talk louder. And, well, I guess I should check for comments. It's always my Achilles heel is getting those comments. Remember to check on them. I think I'm just going to go singles for the first part, and I'll come back and double it, so I don't screw up again. Well, get into view probably too. Gotten so used to doing the inlay here lately, and I have a good time with staying in the same spot when I'm doing the inlay, but I mean, it's just kind of a foreign one, so it's kind of easy to just kind of get into a spot and just work it. When I'm doing other things and other weaves, I tend to wander out of camera view. Come on, get in there. Probably can't see the tie in this view either that I got done. Just don't really have room. I can put it into screen view here while I'm working on these parts. Here. Yeah, Japanese 1-in-1 or 1-in-2s doesn't use nearly as many rings, and so you can go quicker. But everything here is doubled up, so everything takes twice as long. And up here, I'm going to start. We'll do some reds, I guess, next to get the red connected to the gold section. And I didn't necessarily want this, didn't plan on it being a Chiefs tie per se, but ended up going with the colors that I had, and it was like, well, might as well be Chiefs striped, and that's kind of the way we went here. So there's those two, and these need to be to there and there. So I'm going to need some red ones opened. Because now we're going to connect to 2 and 2 instead of... Well, actually, I do need to come in and connect my silvers there. That's what I forgot to do. To hold it to the angle. I'll go ahead and just pre-open some red since I was working on them. Brain was already into pre-opening. But I hope everybody's having a good weekend, a good Memorial Day. Let's get back in here and get some of these put in. Check any comments? No. Alright. Well, this might be a little longer than I was expecting it to take me, but Shouldn't take too long, and then we'll start working on the next. Kind of the same way I build up the Christmas trees and many other Japanese weaves that I use for bracelets and necklaces, and I've used it in some of the dream catchers, and I've used this weave in many things. My wife's skirt that I'm making is a Japanese weave, so I've done a lot of Japanese weave. Alright, so that should keep my angle now better, yeah. Because then that's my bottom side. We'll do that one this time, and then we can come in and do that one. I'll go a little more open. If I would have thought about it when I was putting it there, I should have went ahead and connected these before I went to the next one, but you know, hindsight's always 20/20, right? And it has been a while since I made the neck pieces here. Normally Christmas trees, you know, since you're building kind of mostly a triangle out of it, it's kind of a little bit easier to remember. But we're out of Christmas time, so I need to get back into other. Don't have an event before the 4th of July. I do make up some 4th of July stuff too. You can go on the website or the Facebook page and check those out if you want to. Or anything else that we've made can be made into the colors of that. And now's a good time for custom orders. I got a lot of extra rings as of right now to go into projects, so it's always a good time for custom stuff when I got a lot of extras waiting around to be made. But it will slowly be disappearing, I will say that. Oh, come on. As I continue to work on it and work on it. And so far this year I've easily weaved, what, probably 100,000 rings, if not more. So we've been working a year of it so far already. Alright, so now I need my reds. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. Like I said, just slowly trying to get prepared for events and get house stuff kind of caught back up and ready for the summer. All the summer fun. If you were here Saturday, I did get it. I spent a lot of time Friday. We got most of the attic stuff done that I was wanting to do finally. Other than the new attic fan, or the rebuilt attic fan. I'm still trying to figure out the new motor won't line up into the holes of the old motor mount, so I've been trying to think of how I want to redesign the mount for it so that it can use the new motor. Like I said, it was an old attic fan, but blades on it and everything are so much better than these new ones, so I wanted to reuse it. And everything was going good, and I put the motor in there, and it almost lines up. That's the biggest problem. It's kind of close, but not. I kind of put it on as a test fit, and it seemed to be test fit okay, but then when I got further into it, I realized, yeah, this ain't going to work. I'm going to have to redesign something to make that motor work with it. But it's about out of time for attic fan anyway. We're going to start getting into the warmer time where we're just going to be running the air conditioner anyway, so that'll give me the summer, I guess, before fall hits to get it finally finished up. Hopefully it doesn't take too much more. The gable fan gave me all kinds of issues. More just my issue. I kept doing stupid things. So, finally got it all working. It's mounted, doing its job now. Don't drop. Alright. And I guess, yeah, I'll probably use silver to connect down to it, I guess, since we're going to be mostly silver everywhere by that time. Maybe a few more here. Guess it doesn't matter if we get extra, the next other side's going to be red too, so. Give me a few going. I don't know if I say youngest. When I say my youngest daughter, it's kind of weird. Because I think about it, before the youngest, okay, she's in grade school. The youngest, okay, she's in middle school. The youngest, she's in high school. The youngest is doing college classes. My youngest is old enough to drink. It's very strange. And it's one thing when the oldest got to that point, but it's definitely different with the youngest one. Just reminds you of your age more and more. Okay, we're on to this one. This should be the last one here. And we'll work on the tour and then the single. And like I said, we're not going to do too much on the neck chain part itself once we get to that point. I want to get the other one going, and I know the daughter is ready to see the next one kind of going. Let's see here, we're going to be going that way, so I do have one more on that, I guess. I'm going to double check my work, make sure it's right. Let me check any things. Where we at? Almost half an hour. It's kind of a bummer. I was hoping to be further along. Maybe I should have worked on a little bit before, but you know, it is what it is. And there is quite a few little rings in this little, not a very big piece to top off the tie, but it can use quite a few rings, being Japanese weave. So that's there. Then our two reds here. We're going to connect those with red. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. We need 8 of them. And then just one little silver to finish off the end there. Six. And an 8. And we'll start up here and get this one on. And flip her back. I'm back over here. There we go. And that's why the skirt has taken a while. I just work on a little bit here and there. I did spend some time on it when we first started getting it worked up for her, but then gotten so much other stuff going on, I haven't gotten a ton of time to work on it. So a lot further behind than I'd like to be on that one too. Eventually, I'll get more time on it. Just imagine this multiplied to make a skirt. It might be one of those things I never fully finish off. Who knows? Every time I keep, because it's past the point of where I originally wanted it to be. It's just supposed to be kind of like a what do they call those things? I forget what they call them now. Just kind of a small little beltish type thing, and then it just kind of has grown out from there. So it just keeps growing like everything else. The dogs are going cuckoo again. Now the cat's in. Now see, well, they're both in, so they're not getting barked at. Who knows what they're barking at today? Oh, I tripled that up. What am I doing? Why did I put that there? I was wondering why it was a little tighter going in there than it should have been. I need to go through the singles, not the one that's already there. Thought something felt totally weird putting that one in, but I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of going and talking. Going and talking, going and talking. And just a reminder, if you haven't watched them or anything, we normally do our live streams on Monday nights, Wednesday and Thursday, all at 7:30 Central Time. We're here in Kansas City, so almost center of the country, I guess. Okay, then we can go on to a couple silvers and be done with this part of it. And then we'll add an inch or so, 2 inches on each side after we connect it to the tie itself, and kind of give you the basic idea of what we're going to finish with there. So, alright, silver, so I just need 4 silvers. Now for this part, it finally reminded me in the same day that, hey, there's a live stream going for the Booga box. I guess that's a little better. It only took, what, half an hour or so this time? I wish they'd get that fixed. It drives me nuts. But at least it did show up today. The last several have showed up the next day. I didn't get any notification on Saturday stream. Oh, no, actually I did. It wasn't until late last night. It was well over 24 hours later because it popped up. I was like, why am I'm not streaming right now, am I? Did I accidentally push stream when I was recording? So I had to look, and because I was working on the inlay, and I could press the wrong button, so I was just checking. No, I wasn't going live streaming or anything, but it said I was. So it's these two. Then I realized, well, that was from yesterday. That was 24 hours ago, more than 24 hours ago, that it let me know I was finally streaming. So a little faster tonight. And then we can do our main silver. Come on out of there. That's the end of the triangle for that. We'll put 2 on the end here just to know the ends. Then we'll open up a few, connect it to the scale tie itself. So that's pretty much how that will go onto the tie, connecting here to the first scale and goes out. And then we'll do a 2 and 2 here, I guess, for the first couple, and then we'll just go to 2 and 1 after that. And like I said, I'll show you on when we fully get done, and I'll show you the extra large ties and the large scale tie. How I make my chains overlap so that I can pull and clip them on both sides. I just find it more secure than going with one single clasp and then having either one, you got dangly coming out the back of the shirt, or 2, you know, you just got the one hanger, and if you have 2 on there, you're going to have a better hold. So I normally like to use the 2. One's tight, the other one's more of a loose, but it's more of a safety in case one of them gives up. Haven't had that problem yet. I've worn my extra large scale tie several times, and I've never had an issue like that. So don't think it would ever be an issue, but I always like to double check and, you know, be a little more cautious that it will work properly. So that's what we're always hoping for. And why most of these I like to wear or have a wife wear if it's a woman's thing, just to check out durability and all that, because hopefully she's not watching. She can be a little rough on it sometimes, so she does make a good testing unit. I've had to fix many things. So, and most of the time she'll say, I got it snagged on this and just pulled or something like that. So normally it is her fault, not falling apart because it wasn't well built. And most of the time it is normally the fine silver stuff. So that's kind of how that'll go. Let's go ahead and do one more on each side. Oh, now I'm getting yelled at, so they must be watching up there. I wasn't sure. I guess if I ever mention anything that'll make them holler at me, I'll know if they're watching. Because like I said, I can never tell who's watching. Never know how accurate any of this is. Plus, you never get to see names of people that are there. So, unless they comment, it's the only way you know if somebody's actually there. I'll need to pull out some more. Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely get some more 5/16 silvers. I need both anodized and just some of my own made up. I'm running a little low on both sides of my 5/16 silvers. Yeah, maybe she wasn't yelling at me. She could have been just yelling at the TV. Who knows? I haven't heard another comment, so you never know. Alrighty. So I'll need 4 more to attach to the scale. Okay, yeah, I guess she was watching. I just heard her yell again. Okay. And that's basically what we'll just end up doing with the rest of the stuff for around the neck here is just two and two, and it'll go all the way around. We'll put clasps that come around on each side, clasp down, and then this will attach to this. Top scale, we'll just run 2 off of each side and take off my comically huge lobster clasp. They come in handy for so many things. And we'll just get 4 of these done. They're watching. Now she's posting. I just seen a post. I don't know how long ago that was though. They're always watching, so I always have to watch what I'm doing, huh? Can't make fun or tell stories of the family on the stream. Oh, come on now. It takes all the fun away. Let's go this way first, and then onto that. Yeah, the first one I didn't do them stepping. I just made them straight on my 2, and then built, instead of having 3 the next row, it was 4 on the next row. And I ended up liking this tighter view better, and I put that on backwards. Should have known. And I know that she's waiting to the youngest, the adult youngest, is waiting to see me do some of the scale mail. And you'll know more why here shortly. See if I can make him yell some more when that comes around, right? And these are bigger 16 gauge 3/16 to attach this to. Like I said, I haven't had any issues with it doing them this way. I've seen them done a few different ways. Some people like to do them differently, so depends on what they like, the builder, how they prefer to do it, but that's how I do mine when it comes to the scale mail. Top view always want to get a little weird, but basically that's the top there. Hopefully I'm showing in camera. And like I said, we'll just extend these out, and that'll be the part that goes around the neck to hold on. But that's that one. Like I said, I'll extend the rest of this out a little bit more, but I want to get into the next part. But since my stripes were going this way, I angled them that way on the upper part. If you do a normal tie, you wrap it around, it kind of does the same thing with the normal cloth tie. So that's kind of that. I will add on a bunch of silver there to the end just to finish that up later. I will probably do that tonight though before I put it up so it can be done. And next week we'll pull out the extra large scale tie and compare it with the large tie, and then at that point in time we'll be working on the small one so you can see it and compare them. Yeah, I didn't think I pulled out way more than I needed of the gold there. Just getting them back in their containers real quick. I already got the other ones ready out here so I can save some time in doing all that. That's what took a little longer to get set up for this. Last night after I put up the inlay and I knew I was getting the tie stuff out, I was like, well, I know I'm not going to spend a lot of time on finishing this one up, so I need to come up with something for a small scale tie. So I was looking around online and found well, more just looking for some designs to get an idea, because I haven't seen a whole lot of small scale ties, and I really only found a few. But while I was doing it, I did find a program that's an online only program. I didn't have to download anything, you can just do it on the web on putting in a design for these. Yeah, I might have a few of those I got to pull out. For doing scale design. I think it was called Scale Mail Design. Where's my little note here? Layeroftheraven.uk has a nice little program. But before I did that, like I said, I just found it last night, and I was trying to, get a graphic printout so I could. Normally, on a lot of the scales I've done before, I normally print out just a graph paper, if you want to call it that, of scales that have been laid out, and then I just color them in. And so I was like, well, I'll probably end up doing something like that. And so I printed out some of those, and so this morning I asked the wife and the oldest, or the youngest, why don't you guys use this and color in a design, make a design for a small scale tie. And so honestly, I didn't know if I'd get anything back by the time the stream started, so I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And the daughter, she kind of took off. She was enjoying it, I guess. She used up the first five things I printed up in like 20 minutes or something. They were just gone. And so I was like, well, I did find this program that you can play around with, and there was just some aspects I just didn't have time to play with it enough to know all the aspects of it. You know what? I guess I did need some blues, right? Yeah. I didn't get any blue rings out because I was thinking, I don't need any blue. There's no blue on the side. Now I look at it, I got blue at the top, dummy. So I'm going to have to get my blues out. But anyway, I showed her the program, and she started figuring it out pretty quick. And next thing I know, she's already sending me pictures of designs that she's done. And I mean, before that, I think she had probably 8, 9 on paper that she had designed out for me. And all of them look cool. It's like, I'm going to spend the next year doing ties now. And now that she can do this online, she's probably going to be doing quite a few. I did request that she do some for me online to convert the ones that she had just done. And she ended up doing that. We're on 3/16. Alright. So she was designed up several of them. They're all looking cool. And then it was almost harder than me doing one myself because she made up so many that I want to do now. And even the wife designed one of cards. It's got the diamond, spade, club, heart on it, and it looks pretty cool. I'll probably eventually make it too. So let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and start working on this one here. I'm going to have to actually use silver on my blues. I do not have any 3/16 18 gauge blue, which is amazing to me. Got 19 gauge, but I don't want to start with that, it'll throw everything off, so I wrote it down real quick so it'll be on my next order to get some 18 gauge 3/16 blue. I don't think I have any over on my extras wall, but I'll have to double check there. I didn't want to go doing that during the stream, so we'll go with silver on it. Okay. Back to back. And I'll throw a piece of tape on it to kind of hold them in their shape. Once I get the other one on here, then I'll put it on my comically large clasp to tell me my center top. Those are there. Where's my tape at? I'll just throw a little piece of tape on there. First little bit here I like to just kind of hold it together till I start getting more of them in. This seems to help me in the long run. I can just kind of hold them in place while I'm working on it. Easier than them flipping around on me while I'm trying to get that first couple rows in. I still have to tweak it a little bit when I'm doing this, but this is basically, I guess we missed the start actually of the large scale one at this point because I wasn't thinking and just started doing it before the stream last Monday. So kind of get to see the start of where I put the tapes down and why I put the tapes down. Yeah, and I can see when I was first laying out, because since I haven't done a small one, I had no idea how many scales I would need. And when I started playing around with it, the program actually gives you a number on its length, which was surprising. I didn't notice it at first, and it was off by what I was calculating, but now that I'm putting them together already, I can see where I was messing up on my pre-lay down to get a basic idea of where, what did I just do? I put it on the wrong side. And now I gotta find the start. There she is. I went to the outside instead of the inside. But yeah, if you haven't caught any of the large project, you should go check out some of the video. It's starting to come together rather well. And I can stick that down. Get a few more going here. Let's see. Actually, these outside ones will be silver. Gotta remember that. Hopefully I don't have any screw-ups. I'm going to try to keep track of them a little better. This will be a little more difficult than the large scale ones just because they're small. And in large scale you're doing basically a 3 and 2, 3 and 2. I guess you can't see what I'm pointing at since the tie's over there, but each row is 3, the next row is 2. This one's going to be a row of 5 and a row of 4 for its width, so I got to remember to take that into account when I'm doing it. And when I did the extra large scales, that's kind of why I like the extra large scales, because they were nice and quick and easy. Because they were just a 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And that's probably why I can make them cheaper and quick. But I will say, if you want one of those, and if you've seen them, if you've ever been contemplating it, a good time to do it would be anytime soon, because I think they've discontinued the extra large scales. I'm keeping a lookout for them, because I definitely want to get some more. I have a small stock of every color right now that they had, but I will be running out of them here soon enough. Just an FYI out there, if you're catching watching the ties and thinking about a tie, if you want the extra large scale tie, definitely think about doing it sooner than later, because they might not be available once I use up my current stock. I've been checking and they've been out of stock for several months now, and it does say that only it'll stay around if it's popular enough, and being that I haven't seen any, I'm not sure if it's popular enough or not, so we'll have to kind of keep checking on that. Okay, so then I need 2 blues into here. This one. So we'll stick through these first. And once I get past this, the next row I should be able to take off the tape. It won't be a big hindrance. I still want to flop around a little, but the row counts will still be good enough to see where I'm at. Enough holding it together, so come on through. And I can see why my count was off when I was testing last night with just laying them out, because I had them overhanging more, more per row than what I'm actually seeing now that I'm putting them in here. So, and that makes sense. I should have thought about that whenever I was doing the laying out test last night, but you know, it was pretty late when I did do that finally, and I've been working on the scale or the inlay for so long, my eyes were all tweaked. I get working on it so long and looking under my glasses that my eyes get all the longer I do it. Through that side, this side, there we go. Then my 2 outsides will still be silver, right? Should be. I guess I should have showed the picture of this thing that she had designed. I printed it out so I could have a guide on my colors. Let's see here if I can show it decent enough. It even gives you ring counts and lengths of it. I think my lengths are a little bit shorter than what they're calling because of the way I edged the side of mine, but what did I call it? layertheraven.uk. Somewhere within there is his scale mail designer, which I do like. I'd always use my IGP because they do have a scale option in there, and it works okay, but I didn't have a design to put into it, so I was going to do it manually that way and print out the papers. But this seems to work pretty well, being that we've only been playing with it for less than a day. She's already produced some pretty cool looking designs that I'll have to slowly build. And I got enough now. Like I said, I probably got 10 ties ready that have been designed now, if not more. So I won't be doing them all on the stream, but we will be doing some on the stream, just to have some fun. I need to be in that flyer. Yeah, I was like, am I going through the wrong one again? I want to keep doing that, because then the next row will actually have the first red in it. Once I do several, once I get to the width, I'm sure I'll start remembering everything. So we go to 1 blue for the center, and so that puts us 4, and this will put us at 5. So actually this next one there will be red. Yeah, just looking at the picture going through my head. Hey John, making 16G beaded full Persian, waiting on your scales to arrive. Yeah, I'd just seen your pictures just shortly before I got it on my stream of your 16G with your green beads you had posted up. Looking good. saying something about the flexibility of it, but I mean that's going to happen when you add captures into it, and beads and blah blah blah. But it looked good. It did look good. Alright, let's go ahead and feed you on down through here, get your center done. Yeah, I need to get mine out and so I can do my anodizing of my titanium scales. I've got a few ideas I want to do with those, and just need to get out the bath and do all that, so that's always a little bit of a chore, but so I've got some rings too that I want to do, so I'm trying to figure out exactly everything I want to do so I can kind of do it all at once instead of pull it out, do some scales, put it up, pull it back out a few days later, do some rings, and continue down that. Just starting a new piece. Yeah, this is going to be actually the first small scale tie that I've made. I made the large scale and I made the extra large scale tie, and so this one's going to use small scales on this tie. Something a little different this time, since I haven't done it yet. Very good time to do it. I want to kind of get one of each size scale into a tie form. That's why Monday nights are just going to be different style ties for a few weeks, so I can do these. Want to do a ring one. I need to replace the last couple that I sold, so do that. And I do want to do another bow tie. I've been waiting to do another bow tie for a while. I've got 3 or 4 I think available, but I want to do a colorful one. So most of my others were simple silver ones, so I want to go with something a little different. Add some color to one. Making a 30-inch for a wallet chain. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do another wallet chain. Wife wants to make one for a friend of ours whose son graduated, so she keeps asking me, and I'm like, yeah. Alright, so another red here. Gonna anodize those scales up. Got 500 of them from. That's a big old bunch. I got a couple of each size that I could get at the time. When I last did mine, they just been sitting there, and I've still got all the rings that I've had for actually quite a while. I was like, what do I want to build out of them? I just kind of grabbed some sizes. At the time, they didn't have a lot of plain, and I wanted plain so I could anodize them myself. So I grabbed what I could in plain, and then I just hadn't done anything with them yet. I keep going, I need to do something. It's like I got a lot, so I kind of want to do what I can at one point in time instead of having to keep pulling it back out. I mean, it's not all that hard to set up, but like it actually, in a way, it's longer to set up the welder. Alright. There's 3, and I just need my silvers on the outsides. Let me check my other chats here real quick. Don't see anything there. Well, I hope you had a good weekend, John. I did see several of your posts over the weekend too. I always forget to like them sometimes though, so I do always see them. I just forget to like them sometimes because they're just in the feed and I'm going through so fast just checking my own stuff, and I try to come back later on to get the likes on everything, and sometimes I forget because I get too busy into doing my own thing. But I mean, I'm sure that happens to everybody in chain mailing, you know. Alright, so this will be the outside on this side, yeah. Well, this will definitely be a lot longer than a large scale, and even more so compared to the extra large scale ties, but you know, it happens when you get smaller. Bound to happen. But that gives us our 5 across, so then we come back into 4. So 2 blues in the center. Probably be better to go sideways. Seems like I've seen some people build these upside down, and probably is a little easier upside down than standard straight up side. I normally just come in on the side of it though. Where am I supposed to be connecting you? You're all moving around on me here, yeah. On that one to this one. I feel like a giant now after working on all the large scales. Come back over. Need to come up through. Alright. I can't imagine. I do want to do one eventually in tiny scales, and I know that's going to be a ton of little tiny scales. But I do want to eventually do one just so I can say that I have done one in tinies. Kind of like everything, I want to try it in one of every size I can possibly do. I'll have to stand up and stretch my legs here in a second, get my drink. Forgot to move it over close to me again. Getting all the stuff going, sitting at the computer, and once I got it going, just come over here and sat down and totally forgot to bring anything with me. Alright, so you come behind, you're in front, and you're in front. There we go. And so the next one will be red. Correct? Oh, I got him flipped around over there. There you are. It's like, where's the other ring at? Should have another one. I've got a few open rings here, and then I'll take a quick stand-up stretch. We're running into an hour already, so I could feel it in my back already after an hour without standing up at least a little bit here and there. Like I said, I need a better chair and a better setup to do this. Just totally different style desk is what I need, so I can come at more from behind instead of having to be everything beside or behind me. And get a little more depth going, I think, is what I need. One day. Alright, come on back down there. Alrighty. Go back behind here. We're starting to get some length in it. After I get that first couple 5 rows, and I'll probably come in being that I'm going 5 wide, I might go ahead and start adding my stabilizations on my outside earlier than I normally would, just to kind of help hold it together. But reworked my whole stream. Sweet. Got a boom mic too, yeah. That's what I was looking at, and that's why I was like, I got so much equipment already. Do I need to be buying that? And that's why I've been printing up my own parts and using what I currently have to try to work within the area that I've got. But I definitely want to get a bigger open all the way around desk that I can pull in cameras in a different way and get the mic set up better. I mean, it's on the desk, but it's kind of pushed over into a corner. Picks up okay, but it was a fairly cheap mic, so at one point I thought I was going to be using my headset that I have for my PlayStation, but oh, come on, leg. All right. I ended up figuring out how, well, gotten that other mic, so it's worked out pretty decently. I don't know if I'd want to be wearing a headset for all this time. I already have a hard enough time wearing that thing when I'm doing any racing online. Yeah, I'd like to get a few different boom poles, and I'm hoping, I can kind of do my own thing to get that going where I want it to go, but I might eventually break down and buy a few just to be able to set up better. Because definitely if I could come in over my shoulder would be easier. I got plenty of tripods, but really to get into the angles you need for the camera to do a stream, you need something that's got a little more movement to it. So, alright, there's the red and 4, so now we're on to the next row. On me. Need to go under you. Here we go. And you'll connect back up to that one. Yeah, we'll have to say with doing the smaller scales, you can definitely add more to the graphic, but there's more color changing that's available, so it's kind of like doing inlays. I need to kind of double check what I'm doing, because heck, I even had a scale issue on my large scale where I had to pull it apart to add in that one row scale that I totally screwed up on. So actually, this will be silver here, right? Because I've gotten the 2 reds coming out. So yeah, I'm into the silvers for the next 2. And I'll probably, like I said, get more used to it once I get some more rows in. It'll start becoming second nature, about like everything. Once you kind of get it done going. Got to juice up better than nothing. Flip the power into the desk and reaches over the work area. Yeah, this got a shelf on my upper thing here, and that's where I've mounted, where I got my camera now. It does a pretty good job. I'm not going to complain. I just like to be able to come in more funner angles, I guess. And I really can't do that without some type of boom system or have a... I could use tripods if I just had area behind or in front of me, but behind my desk here. If I could come in and do it that way, I wouldn't have that issue. Okay, someday that might happen. Got a few other things I need to take care of first before that, but, this is working. It's not doing too bad, so I can't really complain too much. It's better than I would have ever imagined that with working with what I currently had with my cameras and stuff. Okay, get back behind. That's your problem with these little boogers. They like to flop around on you too much, right? You need to go behind that guy. There we go. And then we can get our silver into this guy. What did I do weird here? Did something screwy here. You should have been on that row of 5, but I connected you to the red for some reason. Well, you needed to be the red. I know I did something weird there. What did I do? Nothing. I just need to hold it up like a dummy. The ring popped out of where I thought there should have been a ring. There was a ring there. Just didn't see it at first. I guess that's why I should pick it up and jiggle it around a little bit till it fits where it's supposed to, right? Okay. And then into the back blue. not used to having so many in a row. Can't imagine how many I'll need to do on the tiniest to make a row across to get to that round 3 inches mark. Come on out of there. And go back behind there. Alrighty. And so this outside one will be a red this time. Reds. Yeah, I'll pull out the large scale tie here in just a second and show it again. So I get all of it other than just the rest of the neck. I got the top part done and part, just partially a few rings go for the neck part. And I'll finish that up after the stream. Like I said, it'll be a little boring for the stream, and I wanted to kind of show the new. There we go. Just want to start showing the new setup for the small scale. So I probably could have got it still done, but I wouldn't have gotten nearly as much time in to work on the small scales here. So it all works out okay. And like I said, I'll bring them all back once I get this one done and kind of show the comparison between them all, between the small, medium, or small, large, and extra large, since that's what I'll be working with. Back there. I wasn't supposed to connect to the silver with this one. Why did I have to connect it to the silver, dummy? You're supposed to go up on the red. To make it align anyway. Guess I could have left it there, but then it was luckily what's the little twitch sticking out on the side there for? Whitewash the brick walls, seal the concrete floor, mounted 3 work style. Yeah, I guess you did some major work there, huh? Sweet. Yeah, you have to post some pictures of that new setup and show them off, right? Alright, so that's my 5. So we're back to 2 blue for the center. Go ahead and pre-open some of these little boogers. Actually, I guess it'll be the next one, right? That I'll have to use the colored for. Just to edge the coloring to match up with what's there. It's almost patriotic color. Using silver. Didn't have any frost. So kind of Captain America-ish style, I guess. Oh, hiccups. I'm always getting the hiccups here lately. Real quick ones though, at least they go away without, after about 4 or 5 of them. As I talk about hiccups and I hiccup. Alright. I guess I probably could have already taken that tape off the top ones, but yeah, we're just going to continue to work. Side blue. And that one might need to snag open a little bit more, fit up under. Alright, come on back out here. We need to get on top of you, and then we can come back to the silver. Why don't you flip up over? There you go. And then I tucked away my silver one. And maybe that's why I should get some edging done up here already. And then I won't have as many of those flopping out away from me where I don't want them to be. Come on. There you go. Oh, I did mean to pull out that. I keep forgetting to pull out the large one so you can see it. don't know how long you planned on sticking around. So there's the large scale. And it's just kind of a striped tie, and then did a Japanese weave for my neck area. Same color, kind of combo. Switched up diagonal. But I'll just continue out here to finish those up. I just figured that'd be a little less boring. A little more boring for the stream tonight, so I didn't do that. Alright. So this one should be silvers. Next little group. I should get a little bit more done on this, and we'll flip it over and give it a look-see on what it's going to look like from the front side. One thing with scales, you're normally always working on the back. You got to constantly flip it over if you want to see what you're actually looking like on the other. As I say, that program is definitely kind of cool. Definitely a better representation than I can get out of IGP. I still use IGP and will still continue to use it, but for scale, the only thing, he only has it set up for large and small scales. So if you want to do medium or extra large, you can kind of do it because it's still going to give you the same ratio for the most part. All the scales got about the same ratio, so that part of it would work all right. But other parts, we're going to find out how accurate the lengthing, what they call for on the length of the this new program, and because that's one thing IGP didn't do. I do kind of wish I could download a program that did it like IGP, but the online version does seem to be doing pretty good, so it's had a few glitches, but for the most part it works pretty good. Flip over. I will still continue to use it and try some things that it's easier for sure if I haven't tried to pull a graphic into that program. I think you can. I'll need to see if I can. I can with IGP, but then sometimes you have to do a lot of manually adjusting, and with this you can just manually do it, so it has its pluses, I guess. So this is 4, right? Yeah. So that was 5 on the one above. So on to 5 for the next one. 5 will always have a single blue. I just remember that, and I think we're going to be good. Oh, I put my foot in a weird position that time. Where are we at on our time anyway? Hour 17, so we don't have too much more. I mean, I could always go longer. Sometimes I cut them a little short, depending on where I'm at in a thing. Monday nights, less likely, since it's just something we continue to keep working on. So we'll definitely run our hour and a half on a Monday, probably. Unless, again, I guess I had that one Monday where I hadn't eaten all day and was crashing during the stream. That was a crazy night still. Don't want to do that again. I did eat a little bit today. I am kind of hungry. I hadn't had dinner yet, but at least I did have something. I just know that Monday I had nothing to eat all day. It wasn't until the stream when I was realizing that. Get a few more here. Alrighty. Back into the weave. And since all I got left to do on that is the rest of the chain for the neck part, that'll be good to keep me away from continuing to build on this, I guess, because I'll finish that up tonight, and then I can start working on what I want to do for Wednesday, but I might end up pulling out the inlay and do some inlay work tomorrow. Unless I can get by with doing some jelly cube and it satisfies me enough. But, the more I keep doing on the inlay, the more you can see it getting done. It's like you just want to keep working on that inlay, Once you see progress, it's like, go, go, go. Progress, progress, progress. And so this one will be reds. okay for now. And then, yeah. Just going through my brain, putting it in there, trying to remember it. Really hadn't had I thought I was going to have to do some more writing down of stuff and little notes, but pretty much works the same as the other. I was just more worried about having more rings that it'd give me more issues, but seems to be doing alright. I'm figuring it out pretty easily. Remembering it enough, so that's all good. If it wasn't so late in the stream, I would put some edging on right now, just to kind of pull it in tighter, but I want to kind of get some more color going since we're streaming. And so the red one there. Hopefully I'm still in streaming picture. I've noticed I've kind of gone outside my white box here again. A little bit more open to get through. Come on back over here a little bit, guys. I did zoom in a little bit for this stream, just because I normally do, for doing the smaller projects compared to just working on the inlay. The inlay I try to go back as far as I can. Still haven't hooked up the braces or the new, not braces I guess, but the new hookups that I made for the upper camera here. I haven't put them in yet to get a taller view. I'm hoping I can by Thursday. I can just get everything else caught up and stay on top of everything else before it comes to that point. Alright, so this is a 5-rower, so a silver. On the outside. Get on through. Silver on the other. Yeah, I feel like these definitely don't droop as much with these rings compared to the large. Because the large, the top of the scale is I guess it is about half, so I guess it's pretty close to the same. I wasn't sure. I know I use a slightly different ring size on my extra large scales than what they say to use, but I think it's partially because when I try to use the rings they say to use, when I use the way I cinch up my sides, it was making it too curved, so I had to kind of I ended up going with a different size ring, and I like it better that way myself personally. So, and being well, I guess I have worked with small scales on my the lamp one with the translucent plastic scales. I guess I did use small scales on that. I forgot that I'd used small scales. It's the only kind they had was small colored scales. I don't have any large colored scales. Large colored scales. It's my normal talking problem, right? I speak like I type, I guess. I know, got some friends of mine like, yeah, when you type and send messages, we kind of have to read into what you're saying because they never come out like they're supposed to. And you know, autocorrect for text messages don't help me because it ends up taking correct words and misspelling them for me. Because it still wants to. Anytime I type in the word "good," since when I first started using the phone, I typed in "goid" the first time. And now it wants to change everything to goid whenever I type good. It's like, no, I want good, not goid. Drives me nuts. I have to constantly tell it that. And I tried to shut it off, but, you know, these smartphones just drive me bonkers. I feel like I'm getting stupider. Can't remember phone number for the life of me anymore. Like I said, people ask my phone number. I used to be able to just rattle it off. I could rattle off, you know, top 20 people I've ever called. Nowadays, I can't remember one phone number. Other than the old 844 number here in this area used to be to call for time when we were growing up. I think it actually went to a local bank, and they just happened to have a automated time telling you system. But It was like for, I don't know, it was almost as long as I can remember growing up till, I guess it might have been 10ish years ago or so now they got rid of that number. Like I said, I think it was a bank. Once I started looking into where that number came from, when I was growing up, I thought it was the city that did it. Provided you with a number that you could call to get the time. I've talked to people in other cities, and they're like, "What are you talking about? So other cities didn't do that?" And that's when I started slowly finding out that it was just a bank that had a phone number, and everybody got used to it for after so many years of being there that they just used it to call for time. Let's see here. We're on to reds for this one. Yeah. Oh, where are we at on time wise? So yeah, we can get this. This is going to be a 4 scale row. So yeah, definitely a lot more scales are going to get used in this process. That was already a little, between extra large and large, there's already a big difference gap there, but being that I don't have any mediums and haven't done a medium, I'm definitely seeing a bigger gap between the large and the small scales. But mediums were fairly new too. Like I said, they had them for a little while, but I haven't really gotten them because I've been so busy with other stuff. I do like working with the scales, but normally I end up making some kind of bigger project with them, like doing the lampshades and stuff, and that just takes so many more scales, compared to if you're just doing some type of goddess necklace or something like that out of scales. Drop quick scale earrings. Those are easy to produce because you're just using a couple of the sizes, and you only need one or two compared to 6,000-7,000. Alrighty, there's that one. That should make our 4 for this row. So on to the fiber again. Oh, let me grab a drink. I almost didn't put it close enough. And get some more of these open back up too. I decided just to end up going with silver all the way through, and I'll just use the colored reds as my stabilization area. I'll use those for the second ring for those. Once I get a little further, because right now I'd only really be stabilizing 2, even though I've got 5-6 rows here. The way it works, you're going to stabilize 2 at a time for the most part, so just get them going all at once, or in a bigger group anyway. I'll get, probably twice as much that I got here, and then I'll come through and stabilize my edges. Before it gets too long, just to make sure the stabilizations are going to work, but I want to make sure I get enough meat of the tie done that I'll be able to tell what it's supposed to be doing, instead of doing it too early. You could guess one way and then be wrong as you got further down. At least that's what I've found in the way that I do it. Everybody's different though. Alright, and so the next one will be silver. Get on top. Alright, so silvers, right? No. Yeah, silvers. On the tours. On the Warner. Well, that was a silver, then it went to red, so I must go back and forth between silver and red on that. Mentally notes again, mentally taking notes so that it'll help me remember later. Kind of doing those little internal memory pictures, yeah. Won't remember every detail, but that's a lot of things that I've seen in chainmail. It was just I took a mental picture, and I'll come back later and try to figure it out. At least that's what I did early on. Then I started remember now. I could save these pictures and come back in to look at them later. But other things I've just seen while I've been out at, fairs and stuff. And some things that aren't chainmail that kind of gives me inspiration for chainmail, going, hey, I could probably do something similar to that with chainmail. So that's where a lot of those mental pictures will be, also going, let me try that when I get back into doing this. Oh, you need to get back over. There we go. So we need to connect to YouTube. Checking. Oh, I think I might have a viewer on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, thank you for showing up on YouTube. I think that's the first time I've seen any kind of indication that somebody's watching that. I don't know if they are or not, or I'm just seeing things, but I do want to thank everybody again that has dropped in and watched any of these, or, watched them live or watch them later on. Just having fun, doing some chainmail, doing some chatting. And if you're, just watching because you like it, watching because you do it, if you ever have any questions about any kind of weave or anything, something I've done, I'm more than willing to share any info that I know on it. Any help I can give. I've done that quite a bit through emails through the years. People that have bought some of my tutorials and had questions about other things, they, because I'll post into the other Facebook chainmail areas. They've seen me post there, so they'll send me private messages, and then I've told some of them, here's my email address. Just email me if you've got any questions about something. I'll help with whatever I can. I haven't really ever held anything back for tricks or anything per se. Some people, they like to hold on to their knowledge and don't give it all. I try to give whatever I can, because I figure even if though I've been doing this for years, I'll still what was that? Cat come running in. Share what I can. Have no problem in doing so. We need to go on to the outside of that one. That's right. Figure the more everybody else knows certain things, they can teach. They might learn something new, then they can teach me. I've had many things from other people that I follow and watch that have taught me things through the years, and still learning as I go. So I don't think you'll ever know it all. I say that all the time, but I think that's true. I think it'd be hard bet to find everybody or somebody that knows every little thing. There's some people that are a little better in this than that, and vice versa. So there might be. I mean, there's you could probably argue on some people that have been around for years and have done a lot of stuff, and some of the people that run some of the mail artisan websites and stuff, they're dealing with chainmail quite often. They're going to have a lot more knowledge than the average person, but even some of the more experienced chainmailers. But that's why I'm always trying to learn, always reading up, seeing something new. I want to learn it. I want to try it. Let me know. Let's see here. Where are we at? We're at hour 32. We'll go ahead and finish up this blue scale, and then we'll go ahead and call it quits for tonight. So I want to thank everybody again for showing up, watching the streams. Hope you enjoy it. Like I've always said, if you find something that you think you might like to see or try, or send me a message. I'll take all the criticisms out there, so I can try to improve the channel. If there's something that you don't like, just try to have fun with it and try to get it where people like it, want to drop by, say hi, etc. That's what I do with some of the others that I watch. So we will be back on and actually look, yeah, we'd had to find streams, so I don't need to do any more testing. We'll be back on Wednesday night, again at 7:30 Central Time. We'll be working on a small project, some type of bracelet or keychain, more than likely a bracelet with a new weave. Let me flip that on over so we can get a look of this. Let me take off my tape now. Don't need it holding on. So, how can I get this? Got the side stabilizations. It wants to curl up more, so not everything is quite in its home, but that is the basics of where we're at now. Like I said, still need to get the side stabilizations. That'll help, but that's going to be the basic design all the way down it, which I do like. There was another one I was going to do with a different color combination, but there was something about this one I liked, so I said, told the daughter, give me that. Get that one done for me, and we'll use it tonight. So we got a little bit into it. I won't work on this one anymore till next Monday, and we'll be back on Wednesday night. Don't forget to check out Thursday night for the big inlay. Oh, excuse me. Probably will also work on it again Saturday this week. The way it's been working out here lately. So again, y'all have a great night. Try to enjoy the rest of the week as I try to get my mouse to work to close things up. That's why I continue talking, because I'm waiting on this stupid mouse. Come on, mouse. Yeah, that's one thing I'm definitely going to have to take care of here real soon, is this stupid mouse. There we go. Finally, she wakes up. Alright, so y'all have a good night, and we'll see you Wednesday.